MESS, Jets. Aaron Rodgers activated today, believe it or not, but he's not going to play. Alan Lazard and DJ Reed wondering if the Jets were out-schemed in the blowout loss on Sunday. And C.J. Mosley and Solomon Thomas say they have Robert Saleh's back, with reports that his job security is wavering. Mina, what should the Jets do, and what do you think they're going to do?
Well, Frank, you know I don't think wins are a quarterback stat, but they are a coaching stat.
Yes,
and he is 16 and 32 as the head coach of the Jets. I think they're probably going to have to move on. Some of what's happened is beyond his control. Obviously, the injury to Rodgers, some of the roster construction stuff. But a lot of the things that have happened are under his control. The coaching hires, the mess around the quarterback. Unfortunately, I think this is going to be his last.
Wow. Emily, you ready to move on from Robert Saleh?
Yeah, I think so. I think sometimes we conflate consistency and continuity with complacency.
Wow.
And as Mina pointed out, they just haven't improved or had an identity under Robert Saleh. That said, what should they do is different than what they will do. And what they will do is listen to their GM, Aaron Rodgers, who's completely taken over Tom Brady's role as quarterback / I make all the decisions here.
Come on, Pablo. They lost their quarterback on the first series of the season. You're ready to get rid of the coach?
I am, just because I don't think it's going to be much different next year. And I think that Aaron Rodgers he's the biggest variable. The Ringer, Nora Princiati, wrote a great piece about Rodgers and his influence over the decisions about, okay, who else are we bringing around this? Is it going to be Tim Boyle, Aaron Rodgers' buddy? Is it going to be other people that make Aaron Rodgers feel secure and comfortable in his safe space with the New York Jets? Seems like they chose that route. And so for me, if you don't hold the quarterback accountable or let him actually know, hey, we have to make decisions that are bigger than you, then I think there are a lot of variables here that don't reflect well upon anybody in that equation.
All right, Elle, I know you keep receipts. What about Robert Saleh and the New York Jets?
Yeah, listen, he definitely has not exactly been like the best head coach, but this also feels like failing someone at the driving test because the DMV supplied them with a car that didn't have an engine.
Go.
Like, that's not exactly his fault. Like, if you want to look for a sacrificial lamb or a scapegoat here, the Jets offense that didn't have Aaron Rodgers last year either is somehow worse than the one this year. And the Broncos, who have the exact same offense as last year, is somehow better. And where do those two things intersect? At the doorstep of Nathaniel Hackett. So let him go.
This girl is on fire. Here we go. Buy or sell 3. Mike McDaniel wants the team focused only on the Cowboys, not on the fact that they haven't beaten a team over 500 or their next 3 brutal games or anything else. Roll it.
I gave them the clearance to tell all members of the media to, with all due respect, F off. With all due respect.
Man, he's got like a little John Oliver, Jeff Van Gundy to him. Emily, is it fair for the media to ask about their troubles versus winning teams?
With all due respect to you, Frank, F off for my score. Yeah, of course it is, because you look at all the talent and the points that they have, and there are some inexcusable results on their spreadsheet. But is there any coach that's better in sports at deflecting the blame away from the players? This, to me, was a masterclass in leadership from Mike McDaniel.
Pablo?
Yeah, no one has sounded more stoned and yet more credible at the same time. He's a pioneer in that way, Frank, an inspiration, honestly. I don't doubt his ability to relate to players despite the way that he presents.
Elle?
Yeah, the only place he went wrong there for me, he should have said, with all the disrespect in the world, F off. But the idea that, like, this isn't relevant if they're closing out the season with the bottom of the barrel. They've got a murderer's row. So, of course, it's relevant that a team that's fighting for the top seed in the conference hasn't beat a winning team.
Oh, the language. I expected more out of a Yale man. Mina Kimes.
As Elle said, he'll have the opportunity to prove us haters in the media wrong for pointing out reality. And I think they've got a good shot because their defense is playing much better now than they were during those losses.